Yes, sir. It's the FCS CheckDown. Nathan McCreary, Coach Ron Jackson. Boy, we talking right up to the last second about economics, Coach. We almost got you. I said, oh, crap, we got to get on the thing. Yeah, so we were just kind of talking about the ebbs and flows of economy and all kind of stuff just before we jumped on, and how important it is to save money and not go into debt and all that good stuff. Coach has a history, background in banking and all that good stuff. And, yeah, I've had my moments, but yeah. Good evening, y'all. Everyone in chat. I'm Nathan McCreary, Coach Ron Jackson here. This is the FCS Checkdown for week number 10. We're going to be talking about the news and notes around the FCS. We got a week 10 recap and a top 25 top 25 review. A couple people popping in the chat already. New Age Retro Maj, good evening. Austin, he says Axum. Yeah, what a job SFA did. Oh man, I tell you what, was very, very happy for SFA's fan base and Coach Carthel and all those guys. I mean, it is he's a real treat. He's a real treat. So we're fired up about it. Thanks, everybody, for jumping on board. Like and subscribe. We are one subscriber away from 150 subscribers. That's just a little milestone. Pretty cool. Coach Jackson, you didn't have to travel this weekend. You got a chance to stay at the house. How the heck are you? How was your Halloween? Did you get any trick-or-treaters? Did you scare anybody? What was your weekend like?
Man, I had a great weekend. We did the trick-or-treat thing. You know, we don't have as many kids in this neighborhood like we used to, so I normally run out and buy enough candy for 100 trick-or-treaters. We don't get but about 4 or 5 or something like that, and then I kind of strategically place all the candy around the house where my wife can't find it. So we're in good shape candy-wise. And then Saturday come along, and dude, I sat down in my little basement. I give my TV remote a good workout because I was bouncing around. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones on, and having a good time.
Good. I made the Alabama mustard slaw with some grilled hot dogs this weekend. It was excellent. And I texted Brandon Haddock about how good it was. But it was a little bit salty in my opinion. And I texted him, I said, hey, it called for a 1/3 cup of salt.
Oh, yeah, nah.
Right? But it's a massive bowl. It's 4 pounds of freaking cabbage. I mean, this is for a tailgate, right? And I made the full thing because I'm going to take it to work and whatever. And I texted him, I said, the flavor's delicious. It's a little bit salty. He goes, oh, yeah, salt to taste. I'm like, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. So
well,
it was good.
I think it's the Tabasco sauce or whatever hot sauce you use in it that sets it apart.
The Louisiana hot sauce, absolutely.
What hot dog brand did you use?
I used Ballpark all beef bun size. Yeah.
Well, it looked good. I damn near ate the picture.
Yeah, it was good. I may have had 3. And you know what? And I didn't know. By the way, Austin's checking in. Yeah, great. First 7-game win streak for SFA. If they win Saturday, it'll be the first 8-game win streak since 1989, their national title season. You're stealing all our thunder, Austin. Jumping in, coming in hot. I love it. Throwing gasoline on the fire. But I didn't realize this dispute between YouTube TV and ESPN, and I sit down to turn on to watch college football, and ain't no college football on YouTube TV, baby. That $80 a month I pay doesn't include any ABC, ESPN, no nothing anymore. So I did see that they're refunding people but I think they're only giving like $20 or something. So I ended up having to pay an extra, I think it was $5 for Sling or something like that to be able to watch some of the games that were on ESPN and ESPN2 and ABC and such. So, but great weekend of football, and it started Thursday night. You know what? What the heck, Coach? Let's go ahead and jump into. Well, no, let me go around. Let's go around the FCS real quick. Just a couple things that we want to talk about. This FCS showcase was announced. It's going to be a combine for draft eligible FCS players held in Nashville in January. I think it's the same day as the national championship, if I'm not mistaken. Scheduled the morning on January 5th. It's going to be 50 underclassmen prospects performing on-field drills for NFL scout staffs. The initiative, supported by the AFCA and NFL, aims to boost visibility for talented FCS athletes. I think this is pretty good. I got a chance to New Age says cut the cable. Yeah, I wish I could. I have the NFL Network. I'm not NFL Network. I have the NFL package, and I think you have to have a YouTube platform to have it. I'm not real sure how the whole thing works, but
not really.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would tell you how I get my service, but I'd have to kill you. And
my daughter actually, for her birthday, this is going off on a tangent. My daughter, for her birthday, her boyfriend got her a
Super Box.
Do what?
Super Box.
It was something like that. She just cracked everything. She got to watch everything. Yeah. So, but it only lasted for about a year, and then I guess they did something and updated it. But anyway, this is cool. I got a chance to call the Georgia Tech Combine, the not the Combine, but the Pro Day on ESPN several years ago with Roddy Jones. And it was fantastic experience. All the scouts there, watching the players. It was very, very cool. And I think if NFL's on board and they actually have the scouts there, I talked to Brandon Joseph earlier, and he was talking about, well, HBCU has a combine day, and it's not very well held or visited by the scouts. But this is a much larger pool of athletes you're pulling from. I think it's a good idea, Coach. What were your initial thoughts?
I think it's a good idea. Anytime that you can get seen and get numbers on the ground, get in front of somebody, it's not a bad thing. And listen, they'll in addition to some NFL guys, there'll probably be some Canadian football guys there. It gives the NFL an opportunity for some of their, not necessarily their top level scouts, but some of the other scouts to get out and get some work in. I don't see where it can. I think it's a benefit, and I don't know that the NFL is going to go out and draft 40 of the 50 guys that are at the combine, but it does a lot of. I also think it's going to help with the with the UFL.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, I do too.
I think that it'll probably. Oh yeah, we'll work in conjunction with that. I don't see anything negative about it.
Since 2022, 62 players from the FCS level have been drafted by NFL teams. Back in the history, players like Kurt Warner out of Northern Iowa, Randy Moss at Marshall, which was a 1AA school at the time, Terrell Owens out of Chattanooga, Cooper Kupp, Eastern Washington, Michael Strahan, Texas Southern, Tony Romo, Eastern Illinois, Steve McNair, Alcorn State, Phil Simms, Morehead State, Jared Allen out of Idaho State, and many more names. Do what?
Carson Wentz.
And honestly, Trey Lance was a top round pick. Cody Mauch, who started as a freshman for the Buccaneers out of North Dakota State. You got a lot of players coming out of the FCS. So super happy to have it, to see it, and it'll be interesting to see how ESPN or whoever is going to cover that gives it a show. I hope they do a good job on it. By the way, the updated top 25 is scrolling on the screen. The teams in red have dropped in the poll, so that's what that is about. But okay, Coach, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to try this a new thing because
hey, Nathan.
Yes, sir.
But before you do that, one thing we ought to recognize is I believe at North Dakota State, from their quarterback situation, they have a chance to have 3 quarterbacks drafted in 3 years, which for an FCS team that's amazing.
Yeah, and they didn't have to go anywhere else,
right?
Like Gronowski going to Iowa. I think he probably would have been drafted anyway, but he'd probably been a 4th, 5th, 6th rounder. And he's not having a great season at Iowa, but he's getting some looks. And so anyway, good stuff. I'm here for it all day long. All right, Coach. We're gonna go through the Week 10 preview. We had some big upsets. We had some great games. It started on Thursday for Norfolk State and Delaware State. We covered that game, so I'm not really going to go through it. But big win for Deshaun Jackson, 27-20, Delaware State over Norfolk State. Congratulations to them. And then Friday night, you had a Halloween game, Coach Jackson, and it was Idaho and Northern Arizona. The Vandals clinched their 2nd straight win, defeating number 19 Northern Arizona 35-32 in a thrilling Halloween night broadcast. It was ESPN2 as well. Idaho fell behind early. Their offense and defense rallied. Running back Elisha Cummings had another stellar game, leading the team in both receiving and rushing yards for the 2nd consecutive game, including 2 touchdowns. Linebacker Cruz Hepburn scored the team's first defensive touchdown of the season with a 63-yard fumble recovery. Safeties Hayden John and Matt Irwin both had 11 tackles, new career highs for them. Kicker Owen Adams tied the game with a clutch 42-yard field goal in the final seconds, forcing overtime. And then Hayden Kinchlow powered the game-winning touchdown in the extra period. Idaho's rushing game was powered by a 5.9 yard per carry. NAU's Seth Cromwell had another 100-yard game, and Ty Pennington was efficient, 23 for 34, 267 yards. I picked Northern Arizona. I really thought Idaho was in trouble. Congratulations to them. They pulled out a victory. That's a great, resilient win for a team that was struggling there, Coach Jackson.
Yeah, it was a good win, and it was one heck of a ball game. I didn't see all of it, but I saw the last couple of minutes, and I saw the overtime period. That was literally that could be a classic or an instant classic, I guess, is what you. We had several instant classics this past weekend or this past week, and that was obviously one of them. Both teams. Really, really good. There's nothing to be ashamed of on that particular game. Looked great on ESPN2. Good crowd. It was one of the highlights of the FCS week.
Absolutely. All right, then we turn our focus to Saturday. We had some great matchups. Coach, we're just going to kind of go through some of these key matchups because of conference standings. Long Island University gave Central Connecticut all they wanted. They maintained their lead atop the NEC, did Central Connecticut State University with a 10-7 victory over Long Island. The Blue Devils defense blocked 2 field goal attempts by LIU in the final 11 minutes, Coach. Styles Mitchell stopped the 40-yard try. Then on LIU's final drive, which reached the Central Connecticut 1-yard line, Jack Stoll broke through to block an 18-yard game-tying attempt with final seconds, sealing the win. Central Connecticut's offense scored via a 51-yard touchdown pass from Brady Olson to Donovan Wadley. The Blue Devils improved to 6-3, remain undefeated there in conference play. Stoll finished the game with 12 tackles, 8 of them solo, and 2.5 tackles for loss. Eric Jackson equaled a career high with 8 tackles, 5 of them solo, and the win snapped a 4-game losing streak for Central Connecticut against Long Island University. So good win for Central Connecticut. They stay undefeated. Then we turn our focus to a little bit more of a game that was in the spotlight. It was Monmouth and Bryant. The number 9 Monmouth Hawks dominated Bryant 35-7, securing their 6th consecutive win, improving to 5-0 in the CAA. The victory was powered by a career-defining performance by Rodney Nelson. He amassed a spectacular 244 rushing yards on 34 carries. He added a 62 receiving yards. Nelson accounted for 3 total touchdowns, including a 69-yard rushing score, a 49-yard receiving touchdown from quarterback Frankie Weaver, who looks all right, Coach Jackson. He looks all right. He's a game manager right now, but he looks all right. The Hawks defense was equally strong, limiting the Bulldogs to just 226 yards, forcing multiple unsuccessful 3rd and 4th down attempts as Bryant falls to 2-4. Monmouth running back Rodney Nelson's been named the Stats Perform FCS National Player of the Week, and Frankie Weaver had his first 200 career passing game. He had 2 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions. Coach Jackson, Monmouth and Bryant. This is a big win for Monmouth because Derek Robertson is out, and hey, Brandon Haddock jumps in. Hey, no problem, Brandon. Don't worry about being late. You're never late to the party. We did talk about your mustard slaw already, however, so you missed that. A little salty, but it's delicious. But yeah, so big win, Coach Jackson. Monmouth showing that they can win without Derek Robertson, and that's key because if they can rest him and really get him, I think they play Hampton and NCA&T, and they'll give him some time to heal. That is a big relief. Frankie Weaver's done his job.
Yeah, I agree with you, and really, I think it's good for Monmouth to have to play their backup quarterback right now. What I like is the defensive effort, and I know Bryant's not a juggernaut offensively or anything like that. Literally holding them, what they hold them to, 7 points.
Yeah,
and that's the piece that Monmouth needs to get together to make a deep run in the playoffs. That's what I'll be watching.
Yep, absolutely, and that's a great point, by the way. The defense. I think over the last 2 weeks has only allowed 17 points, and they may have allowed 10 to Hampton or something like that. Not real sure, but hey, come alive at the right time. You're all right, right? You're all right. Go ahead.
You're missing your quarterback. The coaching staff might have put the emphasis on another part of the ball game, which may be why their defense is coming along too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to roll through a couple of these, or we'll be here till midnight. The Maine Black Bears picked up a win, 28-21. A little bit of a shocker here. I was the only one who picked Maine in this one, by the way. The Maine Black Bears defeated Stony Brook 28-21, improving to 5-4 and 4-1 in the CAA. Maine dominated the line of scrimmage, outrushing Stony Brook 204 to 3 yards. Quarterback Carter Peavy, the Mercer transfer, had a strong all-around performance, throwing for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns while adding 51 rushing yards and a rushing score. Sincere Baines led the ground attack with 86 yards and a touchdown. The Black Bears defense stifled the Seahawks, racking up 5 total sacks, including 2 by Latrell Couchman. Stony Brook attempted a late rally score with 40 seconds left, but Maine recovered the onside kick to seal the victory. A good, nice win there for Maine. That's back-to-back wins for them. Pretty good wins. As we turn our focus to Gardner-Webb and Tennessee Tech, Coach, this was a sweat fest for Tennessee Tech. Golden Eagles rallied from a season-high 11-point deficit to defeat Gardner-Webb 27-21, achieving a 9-0 start for the first time since 1952, Coach. 1952. The victory extends the nation's longest active winning streak to 14 games and marks the program's first 6-0 start in the OVC Big South play. By the way, the 1956 Golden Eagles team dropped their 10th game of the season, losing 17-9. Can you? It was an in-state rival, Coach. Do you know who it was? Who defeated them?
I wasn't there. I know it wasn't Austin Peay.
It was not.
Tennessee Tech, maybe Tennessee State, no, or Chattanooga.
It was Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee stopped them from having their own undefeated season, that final game. Just a little tidbit there. Whoops, daisy. Oh boy. Yeah. So, sorry, I cut out there just for a second, Coach. But Kikos Vesperis, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, tying a single season program record of 21 passing scores. Both touchdowns went to Trey Holloway, who posted a career-high 129 yards receiving. The defense was dominant with Maurice Lapierre tallying 3 sacks, and Aaron Swafford with 11 tackles. Another huge win for Tennessee Tech, Coach Jackson. This team continues to play well. And thoughts on this?
Hey, listen, I watched that one. I thought Gardner-Webb gave it everything that they had. They come out and they played well. I was a little surprised to see how well that they ran the ball against Tennessee Tech. And now, I like the uniforms that Tennessee Tech came in. They look just like Omega Psi Phi. I wish they had worn gold shoes instead of the purple. Nonetheless,
I didn't like it, Coach. I didn't. I'm wearing gold today. I got my Kennesaw State stuff on, but gold, purple.
Man, I thought it looked good. I didn't like the helmet logo, but anyway, Gardner-Webb ran the ball against them. And listen, Tennessee Tech is a good team. They're getting everybody's best shot right now. and it's a little tougher.
Yeah.
Being hunted as opposed to going hunting. So that's a good win for Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, it is. Just see Wolf. Yeah. New Age said, funny looking Seahawk. Well, it's a sea wolf. I mean, that's why it's funny looking. Up next, how about Drake and Butler? This was a big matchup there in the Pioneer League. 24-19 was the win. Drake Bulldogs picked it up. A 5-0 record atop of the Pioneer League. Drake immediately took the lead on the first play from scrimmage with a 66-yard rushing touchdown by Nick Herman. Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, you have a telephone call. You know what the movie that is, Coach?
Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure.
That's right. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, you have a telephone call. Yes. All right. You're 1-0. Anyway, Herman finished it with 113 yards. A quarterback, Logan Inagawa, anchored the offense, throwing for 244 yards and 1 touchdown. The Bulldogs held on their lead after Butler scored an early third quarter. Thanks to a crucial blocked extra point attempt, Drake extended its advantage. 51-yard field goal by Harry Balky, and the fourth quarter rushing touchdown by Luke Woodson to secure the victory. 6-point victory for Drake. Nice win for Drake. They're sitting at the top of the Pioneer League. It looks like they're going to be the automatic qualifier there. Any thoughts on this one, Coach, as we look for the Montana State Northern Colorado game here?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Drake played a decent ball game, and I think you're right. I think they will, win that Pioneer League, and they'll be your automatic qualifier.
This one was shocking to me. Northern Colorado had played football, and we always talk about the difference between New Age. I did call them the Seahawks. I meant the Thanks for holding me accountable. Yeah, okay. I may have called them the Seahawks. Sorry. And then Brandon comes in. Gold should only be an outline with purple. All right. I'm here for that. I was just it was too much. It's like when Pittsburgh wears their black pants with the gold tops.
No.
That's a good look.
Well, that is okay.
That's a good look. The purple is just something.
Man.
All right.
Jersey, dark gold pants. They even had the purple tape to tape the ankles up and tape over the shoes. I thought that was fire.
Okay. All right. This one was a little bit of shock. Northern Colorado had been playing football. We talked about the difference between those top 5 and 10 teams and then everybody else. This is an example of this. Montana State destroyed Northern Colorado 55-7. They clinched their 7th victory, consecutive victory. It was a huge rout. The offense exploded for 532 total yards. Quarterback Justin Lamson had his first career 300-yard game, passing for 331 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Wide receiver Taco Dowler set a career high with 138 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. The defense stifled the Bears, allowing just 160 yards through the first 3 quarters and posting a first-half shutout. The game highlight was remarkable 90-yard interception return for a touchdown by the nose tackle, Coach. It was Talon Marsh, a 280-pound nose tackle, rumbling and stumbling all the way to the end zone. That was awesome. It was created by Dom Solano, who batted the pass over. Big time. Yeah, Colby Cluth checking in, says, go, Cats, go. Big time victory there for Montana State. Man. What an ass whipping. Coach Jackson.
They showed that they're Montana State. I mean, I know we've talked about them in the past and maybe don't talk about them enough. Maybe they're pissed off about that. I don't know. But Montana State showed that they're Montana State. They hadn't gone nowhere, and they plan on being there at the end of the day. So
yeah.
I'm not super surprised. I mean, I'm not. They're a program. So,
yeah. They are a program. Northern Colorado's lone score, by the way, came with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter to avoid a shutout. Okay. Up next, we have the game that shocked some people, North Dakota and South Dakota right here, Coach Jackson. How about 2-0 after 1 quarter? That was an interesting interesting take. South Dakota Coyotes defeated the number 8 North Dakota Fighting Hawks, whatever they are. The Fighting Hawks Bucks 26-21, handing them their first MVFC loss, improving to 6-4 overall. The victory was driven by big defensive plays. Coach Jackson, including a punt block for a safety there in the first, an 80-yard scoop and score touchdown by Dewan Lewis, following a forced fumble by Chris Dixon. Quarterback Aiden Bauman threw for 173 yards and a 43-yard touchdown to Lorenzo Fenner, becoming the second Coyote in program history to reach 8,000 career passing yards. Congratulations to him. Running back L.J. Phillips added 106 rushing yards. The defense held firm, forcing two late turnovers on downs in the fourth quarter to secure the major home victory. North Dakota dominated almost all of the offensive categories, but 3 costly turnovers changed the game. Coach, you can't turn the ball over in these games. We say it over and over and over. And by the way, I'm just going to note right here, special teams this week was huge in the FCS and all around football in general. Ask the Atlanta Falcons, who lost on a missed PAT.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure we're gonna come back to another game where special teams, where kid misses one, then gets another chance to come back and walks it off. Well, we'll talk about that later. But you know what? Anytime the defense puts points up on the board, makes it tough on the other team to win. And when you got to save a fumble return for a touchdown, North Dakota dominated the game statistically. I don't really think that means that they're, South Dakota played. I get that. I don't think it means that North Dakota is not what we thought that they were. They just wasn't what they were Saturday. I still think they're a solid team. I still think they're one of the top 15 teams in the country.
Yeah, I do too. And, and I'll give credit to South Dakota because, I thought they were done. I mean, Aiden Bauman was having all kind of problems. And then, they put it together. L.J. Phillips is a freaking dude. He's a dude, and he's been a dude all season long. So rivalry games with wild results. Yeah, NDU wasn't 6-2. They were. South Dakota wasn't 5-3. They were both 0-0 when that kickoff happened.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's how they come in anyway, right? Those big rivalry games and trophy games. Pretty freaking cool. Great stuff, Austin. Keep it coming. Sorry, I'm having to move my mouse between two screens, and it zonks the freaking thing. I don't know if y'all can see that, but anyway. We're not going to talk about the Mercer win, but Braden Atkinson is a stud. 4 touchdowns there and a dominating performance against Mercer. The military game, how about Citadel picking up a win 35-24? They had to come back and put 28 points up in the fourth quarter to win that one, so congratulations to them. But the game we're going to stop on is Montana and Weber State. Listen, Montana, number 3 team in the country, 38-17 in Ogden. Not an easy place to play. They have great corn dogs they sell there at the end zone, by the way. They put honey on them. They're delicious. So they snapped a 3-game. It's legit, Coach. It's legit. The team's been terrible, but it's legit. Anyway, they snapped a 3-game skid against the Wildcats. They kind of were the team that was spoiler all the last couple seasons. They improved to 9-0 and 5-0 in the Big Sky. Montana exploded in the first half for 31 points, building a commanding 31-10 halftime lead, fueled by a forced fumble on the first play of the game. Quarterback Kelly Ayat was efficient, turnover free, throwing for 296 yards and 2 touchdowns. Running back Eli Gilman crossed the 100-yard mark for the 5th time this season. And Coach Jackson, Blake Bohannon, Brian Bohannon, the former head coach at Kennesaw State, that young man showed out. He had 133 yards as a career best and a touchdown on just 3 catches. The Grizz defense held the Wildcats to 114 rushing yards, securing the dominant road victory. Extremely happy for that young man. I got a chance to be around him and his brother, of course, and his dad there, and his sister and his mom and everybody. The Bohannon family are quality people, and I had been kind of going back and forth with Coach Bohannon the last couple of weeks, just saying it's fun. It's nice to see that Blake's doing so well, and they're in Montana, and so he wished us well as well. So great job for Blake Bohannon. Big win there for Montana. Yeah. They're Montana. I'm telling you, the Big Sky. I think it's the Grizz to lose.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the Bohannon kid had gone out there. I remember him being a terrific receiver at Kennesaw State. And oh yeah, he got good hands, got good
Mhm.
decent speed. He's a good looking kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's another week where the Grizzlies are doing Grizzly things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they're steamrolling. They're rolling right now.
Yep, they sure are. Colby says makes sense now. Yeah, he's a good kid, Kobe, and root for that young man and his family because they're fantastic human beings. Fantastic human beings. You think he would coach in Florence? Brandon Haddock asked, "Do I think Brian Bohannon would coach in Florence?" Brian Bohannon is with Georgia Tech right now. he is an analyst for them, and not broadcast, but a football analyst for them, and probably making pretty good money. I think he probably wants to be a coach. I think he. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good. I think he would. Yeah.
Brandon want to bring the triple option to Florence, Alabama?
See, I don't think because the rule changes, I think Bohannon would not bring the triple option. I think it would be some kind of spread option run first offense, but you can't do the triple option anymore. A lot of RPO type stuff, you could do, but yeah.
Good guy, and coach. He would be. I mean, he'd be kind of at the top of my list if I was there. Now, again, I don't want the triple option, but he's a good guy. He's a good recruiter. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that anything's possible.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Coach, the next game we're going to talk about is this one right here. UT Martin struggling with the Gargoyles, Eastern Illinois. They're not the Gargoyles, they're the Panthers, but that don't look like a Panther to me. UT Martin secured a dramatic 27-20 overtime victory over Eastern Illinois, fueled by quarterback Jace Bauer. He engineered a game-tying drive late in regulation, punching in a 1-yard score with 46 seconds left. In overtime, he connected with Bryce Bailey, a 6-yard touchdown for the Skyhawks' first possession. The defense sealed the win when Keyshawn Johnson, not that one, shot through the unblocked to stuff EIU's quarterback sneak on 4th and 1, and Bauer finished with a 172-yard passing, 2 touchdowns. The victory improved UT Martin's conference record to 4-1 OVC Big South play. And you know what? Brandon Joseph brought to his game on Friday. Was so happy to have him back, and he talked about UT Martin making the playoffs at 4-1. They're 4-5 overall, but they're right there. 3 FBS losses. How you feeling? This is a tough game. Eastern Illinois is not particularly a good program, but the resilient win for Jason Simpson and the UT Martin Skyhawks, whatever they are.
Well, it's going to come down. I believe that the Skyhawks and Tennessee Tech play the last game of the season in the OVC. I believe so. It's going to come down to the winner of that game. And listen, nobody does more with less than Jason Simpson does. He's the longest tenured coach in the Ohio Valley Conference, Big South, however they got that now. He always puts a good team together. I would be scared to death knowing that my playoff hopes are on the line, and I have to beat their team.
Yeah, they're a dangerous team because they do have the pieces, and Jason Simpson will make them hungry.
Yeah.
He'll make them hungry. All right, Coach, Alabama State and Prairie View. This was a big SWAC matchup. Alabama State Hornets defeated Prairie View 31-28. The Hornets forced 4 interceptions across 5 drives. DeAndre Morris snagged 2, halting Prairie View's momentum. This helped ASU score 24 unanswered points. Offensively, Jamari Holtzclaw led the ground attack with 127 yards, and Marcus Harris II scored 2 rushing touchdowns. Prairie View quarterback Cameron Peters had 106 rushing yards, 106 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns, and but was hampered by turnovers. The Hornets sealed the victory on the final drive when the Panthers missed a 53-yard field goal. Alabama State quarterback Andrew Bodie suffered an injury to his right arm after extending the ball over the goal line for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. In the first half, he was seen wearing a sling on the sideline, replaced by Tashawn Smoot. Coach Jackson...
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. We deserve to see Andrew Bodie play the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's electric.
I'm wondering.
Good for the young man that come in and replaced him. But let's hope and pray that young man heals quickly and is able to play because he is the heart and soul of Alabama State.
He is, and he's getting a lot of national attention, and him being off the field is a problem, I think, for Alabama State. Their backup quarterback, I think, only threw maybe 4 or 5 times. It was a ground game, and they were efficient at the ground game, which is no surprise. Up next, this one was the shocker, Coach Jackson. It is, here we go, the Sycamores 24, South Dakota State 12. Indiana State Sycamores scored a massive upset over the number 4 team in the country, marking their first win against a top 5 opponent, since 2012. The victory was spearheaded by a sensational 3-touchdown performance from wide receiver Rashad Rochelle, who recorded 179 total all-purpose yards. Rochelle immediately answered with the Jackrabbits' opening field goal with a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Special teams added 2 receiving scores, 14 yards and 57 yards from quarterback Keegan Patterson later in the game. The Sycamore defense was lights out, forcing 3 turnovers, racking up 5 total sacks. Kamal Clark, he's a stud. Kamal Clark led the defense with 15 tackles. Nick Yatsko added 14 tackles, a forced fumble, and recovery on a fake punt. The unit also notched 2 crucial interceptions in the end zone, closing minutes of the game, effectively controlling the line of scrimmage and securing Indiana State's first MVFC victory of the season. This is the first win over top 5 mentioned since 2012. They beat North Dakota State, the number 1 team in the country, in 2012, by the way. 5 total sacks. Caleb Harris had 2 of them for Indiana State. Coach Jackson, this was a huge upset. And, we talk about what Western Carolina was like without Teron Dickens, and now you're out without Chase Mason there for South Dakota State, and they look bad. They look anemic. So, tough one.
Yeah, well, you know what? Good for Indiana State. It's a great win for them. And again, when you lose your leader, it shows the parity that anybody can win on any given Saturday in FCS ball. But when you lose your leader the way that South Dakota State has, it kind of sets you back for a little bit. So I'll be interested to see how they rebound, because literally they still got to finish strong. I'd be interested to see how they rebound.
Yeah, you hate to see it because, obviously I wasn't all that impressed with South Dakota State just as a whole. I mean, usually their offense, defense, special teams is squared away. They've struggled, lost 2 games back-to-back. They got South Dakota coming up, Illinois State, and North Dakota coming up. That's a hot schedule right there for South Dakota State. So it shall be interesting. In New Age, if Chase Mason can't get back, they're in trouble. Yeah,
somebody gonna have a rabbit's foot, I'm afraid, before the season ends with that group.
Yep. Somehow I've rolled. Oh, here we go. Rolled that stupid thing all the way up. Don't look. You don't know the scores yet. Wait till I get there. Okay, here we go. Huge win. Congratulations to Indiana State. Very happy for them. And a good friend of mine went to Indiana State, so he's a Sycamore for about a semester. How about this one? In the Southland, Incarnate Word defeated Lamar 24-17, handling the fellow Cardinals 7-2, their first Southland Conference loss, snapping their 7-game win streak. UIW quarterback E.J. Colson was sharp in the first half. 3 touchdown passes to give his team a dominant 21-3 halftime lead. Colson connected with Jalen Walthall, who's a stud, Jackson Lowe, and Josh Lorick, a 45-yard score before Will Ferris added a field goal in the third quarter. 24-3 advantage. Lamar mounted a late rally, scoring 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but it was UIW's defense who held on. Colson finished with 161 yards passing, and Lorick led all receivers with 90 yards and 8 catches. Lamar is cooked. UIW played spoiler.
You know what? Why can't they just stay dead? Dude, they are just they've just said, you know what? Since we're not going to the playoffs, hell, ain't nobody else going either. It's a good win for Incarnate Word. It's a bad loss for Lamar. And literally they're going to take a couple other. Season's not over. They could spoil a couple other folks before the season's out too.
Yeah, Austin says, I'm probably the only person not surprised that UIW beat Lamar. Lamar has looked pretty bad all year. They've just been winning those bad games, and he wins the bad games, a win's a win, a win. It finally caught up with them. I like Pete Rosamondo. I think he's a quality football coach there. We've kind of talked about him and what he can do, and what the job he had to do was a huge job there at Lamar. And, I mean, they were ranked in the, what were they? They were top 10, I think, before losing a couple. Turkey Syrup just jumped in, says, hey guys, love the show. Can I ask a question? Yeah, just ask away. Turkey, go ahead. We're good to go. Just put it in the chat and we'll pop it in. Yeah. Lamar's done. Southland's going to be between southeastern Louisiana and Stephen F. Austin. And we'll talk about those games here shortly. Here's a game that we were kind of talking about. Dartmouth, a lot of people thought Dartmouth had a chance in this one. Not a chance. No way. Number 15, Harvard defeated Dartmouth 31-10, improving 7-0 overall for the first time since 2015, strengthening their hold on the Ivy League. They're 4-0 in the conference. The victory also made Harvard the first program to reach 300 Ivy League victories. That's cool. Jaden Craig delivered a record-setting performance with 322 yards and 4 touchdowns. With his final 2 scores in the fourth quarter, Craig broke the school record for career passing touchdowns. So congratulations to Jaden Craig. With his final 2 scores in the fourth quarter, yeah, he broke that record. Crimson jumped out to a 17-0 lead, backed by a strong defensive effort, held Dartmouth to just 61 yards rushing. Coach receiver Brady Blackburn led all players with 116 receiving yards, including a 74-yard touchdowns. Man, Harvard's legit. Now they're ranked in the top. What I think they jumped up. We'll talk. They're in the top 10 now. It's going to be interesting.
You know, I see that, and I'm not trying to hate on Harvard, or really not trying to hate on the Ivy League, but they basically only play other Ivy League schools. So it's top 10 ranking just based on the eye test, but I wish there was more that you could judge in out of conference games with them. They start a couple of weeks after everybody else, and they really just self-contained league. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not buying that top 10 ranking. I think they're a good team, but I still don't think they're one of the top 10 in the country.
Well, okay. Well, so Lehigh has moved up. We'll talk about the top 10. Lehigh's moved up. And I don't know that Lehigh could beat Harvard, but I don't think Harvard could beat, Stephen F. Austin. I don't think Harvard could beat Abilene Christian. You know, I mean,
it'd be nice if they would schedule some out of conference games so you could get kind of a feel for what they are. I think they get a lot of credit because they're, obviously it's an Ivy League school, but they only play against each other, and I don't know that bodes well for the tournament.
Yeah, well, I don't either. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, Coach Jackson. I don't know. That's the thing is like you can't have the you just don't have the knowledge because you're right. They don't play each other. So interesting.
Yeah, they just don't play outside their conference too terribly much, and so I mean I get it. They beat Dartmouth, but I don't really know how good Dartmouth is.
Right.
I thought they at one time, but I don't know that's I mean it'll all shake out in the wash. But I'm not on the Harvard bandwagon just yet.
Okay, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Okay. How about the Youngstown State and North Dakota State football game? This was a good one. Top-ranked North Dakota State improved to 9-0, 6-0 in the MVFC, holding off a spirited challenge from the Penguins, who were number 18 in the country, 38-30 there in the Fargo Dome. The game was defined by a wild second quarter where NDSU scored twice off Youngstown State turnovers, delivered a back-breaking 100-yard kickoff return touchdown by Jackson Williams to take a 28-20 halftime lead. Quarterback Bo Brungard kept the Penguins fighting, accounting for 3 touchdowns and bringing YSU within 5 points in the fourth quarter. However, the Bison's offense controlled the ball for nearly 21 minutes in the second half, sealing the victory with a late field goal and final defensive fumble recovery. Youngstown State quarterback Bo Brungard delivered an impressive all-around performance despite the team's loss to top-ranked NDSU. Brungard accounted for 3 total touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 passing, in a high-scoring affair. He was very efficient with the football, 19 for 30, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, and 50 yards, 2 scores on the ground. Bo Brungard is a very, very good football player, and he is fun to watch without a doubt, Coach Jackson.
Yeah, close. Youngstown State. It's another close loss to a very good team. One of these days, Coach Phillips going to get them over the hump. But I mean, you can't really hang your hat on their particular performance.
Yeah.
Just too many turnovers. Too many turnovers. Too many big plays. You got to knock the champ out. You cannot make the mistake that they made right before halftime and expect to pull that game out.
This is that kind of late in the season, everyone's nicked. Everyone's had those injuries, and they're tired. And, Youngstown State, they had their shot. It's like they ran out of fuel. They just don't have the horses, and that's what we've been saying all year long. Is we just don't know if anyone has the horses to defeat Brandon Haddock. If their logo was more balanced, they may have won. That's right at you, Coach Jackson. Yeah, exactly. You have such confidence in Cole Payton in that NDSU team, whether it's offense or defense. Offense is going to score. Defense is going to make a stop. That's the kind of expectation you've got for them. Congratulations to NDSU, and congratulations for Youngstown State going out there and playing really, really well.
You got to knock the champ out. You can't make mistakes. You have to knock the champ out. You're not going to get a decision versus the champ. So you can't have fumbles. You can't have punt returns for touchdowns. You can't snap it over somebody's head. That good for Youngstown State. Good for them. And I don't mind telling you, it may be the push that North Dakota State needs just to steamroll through the playoffs.
Yeah. You've kind of talked about maybe a loss or a team, coming close to losing can really spark a team, and it might spark NDSU. We shall see. This one. How about this? Cody Hawkins and Idaho State picking up a 38-36 win over UC Davis. We talked about UC Davis, a little bit of slow starts. Well, it was they didn't have a slow start offensively. This game was a barn burner to start the game. Running back Dason Brooks dominated the ground game with 219 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 57-yard score on the opening drive. The Bengals special teams, and defense proved clutch, scoring a blocked punt return and forcing 3 turnovers. You can't turn the ball over. The Aggies took a late 1-point lead. Kicker Trajan Sinatra sealed the road upset with a dramatic 50-yard field goal with 52 seconds left. And Idaho State's offense totaled 417 yards with a win. Big time win there for Idaho State. We felt that, Coach. We felt that Idaho State team is not the same, and this was the win they were looking for. Congratulations. They are a winner. They're in the big sky. They're to 2-3, but they've knocked UC Davis off a pedestal.
Yeah, huge win for those guys. And you know what? How many 50-plus yard field goals are people going to hit this year? I mean, their kickers are hitting that
50's
like it's
the new 30.
Boy, it sure is. And somebody.
That's why how I got Sweet Elizabeth. I'm saying 50's the new 30. Just kidding.
Wow. Okay.
Gotcha. She's beautiful. She's not in her 30s, but she's beautiful. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway.
Nice lady. I have no idea why you did that, but good for you.
Yeah. You forget you're live and you say things you can't go back and take out. Anyway.
Yeah.
But big win. There were so many field goal kickers. They're good kickers, Coach.
And Daphne looked great for her Halloween costume, too.
Didn't she?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
I can't post that one, but just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sinatra, a 3-time player of the week. Thank you, Kobe. Yeah, he is fantastic, man. Special teams, we said it. Special teams. Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguar kicker set the NFL record this week with a 68-yard field goal.
That would have been good from 78. It hit the back of the net.
Well, Turkey Syrup said he was going to ask us a question, but he didn't say anything. He hasn't asked a question yet. Maybe it was. Well, never mind. So, yeah, special teams, turnovers. Hello. It's not just about the star quarterback.
Yep.
All right. Up next, the final game we'll kind of get into here is Tarleton State and Abilene Christian. This was a back-and-forth game. The number 24 ACU Wildcats secured a thrilling 31-28 homecoming victory over rival and number 2 Tarleton State, handing the Texans their first loss of the year, seizing control of the UAC. And the sellout crowd, 12,000, witnessed the highest-ranked opponent ACU has ever beaten in the Division I era. So congratulations to Keith Patterson and ACU. They built a comfortable 28-10 lead entering the fourth quarter with 2 rushing touchdowns from Rovon Banks Jr. and scoring scramble from the quarterback Stone Earl. However, Tarleton State rallied with 18 unanswered points to tie the game with 28 with less than a minute remaining, continuing the rivalry's history to one-score classics. With 56 seconds left, Earl quickly connected with Eddie Henry, the 38-yard strike to set up the offense. Kicker Brandon Perez, whose longest kick of the season was 35 yards, drilled a 47-yard walk-off field goal as time expired to secure the momentous upset. The Wildcat defense recorded 4 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, while E.J. Wilson Jr. added his first career 100 rushing yard game. Congratulations, ACU. The Pop-Tarts couldn't handle what the Wildcats brought, and now they are likely going to be an at-large bid rather than the automatic qualifier, Coach Jackson. Big win for Abilene Christian.
Big win for Abilene Christian. Big win for a lot of people in the UAC. I don't know how the UAC does it, but they've got the largest conglomerations of teams that are purple and white. As far as their color, it's either purple and white or red or maroon and white. Yeah. That's it for the system in that conference. This was the game of the day, and I was blessed to be able to watch that. When Tarleton comes down, Abilene they had maintained a 2-score lead most of the game, and Tarleton walks them down. They take the lead. The kicker had an opportunity to put it away.
Yeah,
they were 2 scores. He's got an opportunity to put them up by 10
points. Yep,
and literally just chokes off an awful kick. So, and there's very little time left. Tarleton scores with about a minute left. You're not thinking that they're so anyway. Abilene Christian comes out and they throw it to their tight end, and that big joker is rolling. I yards, stumbling, bumbling, all that good stuff. And the kicker gets a chance to reprieve himself. Yeah. And they carry him off the field. Now, one thing did happen, which I don't believe I've ever seen during a ball game, which has got to be tough. There's 2 brothers, the brothers West. One plays for Abilene, one plays for one of them's catching the ball, and the other one knocks the stuffings out of him. And I think it might have even been a target call. And, dude, it's just a crazy scene where one brother knocks another brother out off opposite scenes. The good news is both kids gets up, and I think both of them are okay. But that's one of the craziest things I've seen on a football field in a crazy game that had a crazy inning. And literally, it was a pleasure to watch them carry their little kicker off the field. He's the happiest dude in Texas that day.
Yeah, and he got a chance to sit at the post-game press conference also and ask questions, just ear to ear, Coach. I had a buddy of mine. I went to school with a guy named Patrick Manley. He ended up he was a tight end in high school, but he went to Duke and learned how to long snap at Duke. He ends up being drafted into the NFL, and he snaps for the Chicago Bears for 18 seasons. He marries Tommy John, the pitcher, his daughter, right? Talk about a life. This guy's amazing. And he would tell you, as a long snapper, you never want your name in the paper. For kickers, it's feast or famine. You're either going to be carried off the field or, someone's wanting to murder you. So, congratulations.
He missed an easy one, and he missed it bad. And you could tell he was down. That gave Tarleton the spark that they needed. It was a well coached game. It was a well played game. It was a well coached game. To me, like I said, the only 2 words I could come up with was instant classic.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, just a couple other. Oh, by the way, Abilene Christian posted something on their social media, celebrating the win that had the Tarleton State upside down, and at the bottom it was like, do what?
Tarleton is not a state.
Tarleton's not a state. And at the bottom of the teeny tiny little letters, it was like, this game is bigger than this, and we know that Abilene Christian is better, and Tarleton State's still trying to find their way, and we're the better team. And it was just kind of like, whatever. And Abilene Christian came out and removed the post and apologized. Get out of here. Boo. I don't like that one bit. Have some freaking, courage and be like, let's go, let's make a rivalry out of this. The comments were freaking hilarious. The Texans got their butt hurt. Yeah. They got their feelings hurt. Definitely. I don't like apologies anyway, just because grow up, I mean, if it's something that's we all know what's outside the lines, right? We all can, that it's a Christian university that was kind of mean.
The part that I didn't like about it is in the apology. Look, dude, they went off on themselves and literally said that it was an unprofessional post, and I didn't think it was unprofessional
turning the team's logo upside down. That's no difference than planting a flag at the 50-yard line on the logo, and teams do that crap all the time.
Yeah, and again, I thought it was. Listen, in 2025, if you lose, you're gonna take a little crap. I don't mind telling you that one of the Texan fans that had told me I didn't know football because I had them picked 6. I went on and bookmarked that mess. And as soon as they lost, I went on and posted back. I was like, dude, I think 6 is generous. That was probably pretty unprofessional. But like you said, the apology is lamer than the post.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
There's nothing wrong with that. And don't take the shine off your win. Let them kids enjoy that. Fans enjoy that and move on down the line. The Texans they're big boys. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm with Austin. ACU needs to be disqualified from the playoffs for the apology. I agree. Have some freaking. I mean, that's what the pageantry of college is all about. Is getting to your rival. Tell them we own you this season.
Yeah, listen, anyway. This probably shouldn't say this, but I coached football at a small private Christian school, and I didn't get my education from a small private Christian school. So one of the things that I taught every player, how to shoot a single bird and how to shoot the bicentennial bird.
What's the bicentennial bird?
Well, that's what. Here, let me see if that way. When you get them both up there like that.
Whoa. Bicentennial bird? That hurt my feelings, Coach. I can't believe you showed me.
Kids love that. I would have them practicing every day. You ought to see them. They're coming up to me with their fingers all tight. Coach, what do we do? I'm like, dude. But once they learn how to do it, we're just having a little bit of fun in the locker room. We're not trying to be unprofessional or piss anybody off. But that's just a little over the top. Let the kids play. Let the kids
play. Let them win.
Right.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm Austin. I miss talking shit to Sam Houston Institute of Technology fans. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Come on, let's go. A couple other games of note, and let's get back to our regularly scheduled thing here. Of note, Western Carolina, 35-28 win over Chattanooga. Teron Dickens had another good football game, 4 touchdowns. East Texas A&M and Selah. This was a 59-14 win. The Lions stay undefeated in the Southern Conference. Dayton drops a game to San Diego, 31-13. It wasn't even close. Running back Gavin LaChow, who'd been really running the ball well, only had 9 yards the whole game. Torero's defense held the Flyers to 1 1 of 12 on third down and -6 yards total as a team. The Toreros, hey, all right. We said they were good earlier. EKU picks up a win 34-13 over Central Arkansas. Miles Burkett had three touchdown passing and a rushing touchdown. Marcus Callwise Jr., 5 receptions, 106 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The defense also forced 3 turnovers. Jackson State 41-16 over the Rattlers, 41-16.
Have you seen the meme where the Jackson State lady, I guess she got caught up in the hundreds student in the seating section, and she just refused to move.
Oh boy!
So yeah, she's sitting there in the hundreds band section, and they just playing all around her. She's sitting there looking right miserable, and there's plenty of other space that she could have gone, but she had claimed that seat, and she was not moving. And they tried to get her to move. She just simply wouldn't. But the Rattlers may have lost the game, but they absolutely won the halftime show. And their particular broadcast actually plays their halftime show. So I got the chance to see that.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? I mean, yeah. By the way, Ahmad Miller, the running back there for Jackson State, 165 yards rushing, and running back Denaro Davenport had 200-yard rushers in the game, both with the touchdown. Stephen F. Austin, 41-17 win over UT-RGV. The victory was a 7th straight for the Jacks, which is the longest since the start of the 1995 season, while SFA improves to 5-0 in league play. UT-RGV, Eddie Lee Marburger was held to 115 yards passing. The team only had 100 yards rushing. SFA really the Vaqueros.
Yeah, SFA said, Eddie Lee, get that mess up out of here.
Eddie Lee? I love it. Austin P got thumped by Southern Utah 33-17. Joshua Dyes, fun one to watch, 155 yards and 1 touchdown. All right, Coach, before we get out of here, we've been rolling in about an hour, so we got North Dakota State at number 1, Montana now the new number 2, up 1 spot. Montana State up to number 3, Lehigh number 4, up from 7. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tennessee Tech, number 5. Tarleton State drops to number 6 from number 2. Monmouth up to 3 spots to number 7. South Dakota State drops to 4 spots to number 8. Harvard goes 3 spots up to number 9. Villanova 10. UC Davis drops from 6 to 11. And Mercer at number 12, up 3 spots. North Dakota down to number 13. Rhode Island actually dropped somehow this week a spot. They're down 1 spot to number 14. Southern Illinois, 15. Illinois State, 16. Stephen F. Austin, 17. Abilene Christian, 18. Southeastern Louisiana, 19. Lamar, 20. Youngstown State, 21. South Dakota, 22. Jackson State, number 23. Western Carolina, 24. And Presbyterian at number 25. Your thoughts on the top 25 as we wrap this thing up here?
Drop Harvard 2 spots, move Villanova up 1, and move Mercer up 1.
Yeah. Are you okay with Presbyterian still being ranked?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they got to win over a top 10. They got to win over Mercer.
Yeah.
You know, and literally, what have they? They've only lost
without their quarterback, but
however you put it
it'll
up
still
there,
count. Yeah.
Yeah. When Mercer, so yeah, they got to win over Mercer. They got to win over a bad Furman team. But yeah, I'm good with them being 25. I'm not good with them being 15. But yeah, I wish there was a way that they could still get in the playoffs, but they not. I literally think. I think they're deserving at 25. Now I'm gonna leave that there.
Northern Arizona and Austin P 26 and 27, essentially. They drop out but are still receiving votes. Alabama State, Delaware State, Austin P. West Georgia still receiving votes. Lafayette receiving votes. Yale receiving votes. South Sacramento State receiving votes. And New Hampshire receiving votes. I don't know about that. By the way, Reddit...
25 and drop the blue hose out if that's what you want to do. But
again,
the Hoes have a win over over one of the top teams. So
I
I'm good
know.
there.
I know, but whatever. Reddit FCS, fantastic follow if you don't follow them on X, posted the ranking, the 40 teams with 2 or few FCS losses by top 25 wins, top 25 wins at the time of the win, and total Division I win and FCS losses, strength of schedule. Very, very interesting. North Dakota State is number 1. Abilene Christian comes in at number 2 because of their strength of schedule. Very, very interesting. Yeah. Good stuff. Coach, just kind of wrap up. Lots of upsets here in week number 10. Week 11, looking for some more stuff. Got some great games. And then week 12 was really going to find the answers and be talking about those top 8 automatic qualifiers and teams that will be hosting. Your kind of overall thoughts so far on the weekend?
Man, we had a great week of football. We about to have another great week of football. This is the most exciting time of the year for me.
Yeah.
Listen, it was my son's birthday, my daughter's birthday, or excuse me, son, my wife, my daughter's birthday, and all in consecutive weeks. And this week it's our 29th anniversary. So
congratulations, Coach. That's awesome.
Listen, we've been married 29 years, and I told my wife earlier today, they've been 2 or 3 of the best years of my life.
Well, you can say that being married 29 years.
And she's upstairs asleep. Hell, I wouldn't say that if she was down here. But all I'm saying is this week will be the same blessing that I've had over 29 years of beautiful marriage. It's going to be some beautiful football out there, and I can't wait to get to it.
Yeah, absolutely, it will be. Turkey, final chance to ask your question because we out of here. Happy anniversary from Brandon. Had a happy anniversary from all of us, Coach Jackson. Hey, chat, you guys have been so awesome once again. I love all the interaction. We have over 50 comments through the thing. Austin also says happy anniversary to you and all your wife and all that good stuff.
We're on our way to Richmond. She don't know it, but on our way to Richmond, I done found a place in Berea, Kentucky that does the glass blowing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a glass blowing class on our way.
All right.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to touch nothing hot, but still, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't watch the show. Anyway, chat, you've been awesome. We've had great interaction with everybody. Thank you guys so much. Austin, great to see you. Kobe, it was great to see you again. Turkey, Sarah, you just left me on the edge of my seat. I don't know what question you're going to ask. New Age, great stuff. Everyone has been awesome. Thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. It looks like just from the analytics that we can see, about 50% of the viewers subscribe. So if you like the show, subscribe. It really does help us out. We're trying to get our numbers up, and we, liking and subscribing helps us do that. And if we can monetize, I'm not opposed to getting some gear and giving some giveaways and all that kind of fun stuff. You guys have made this so much stinking fun. I can't even tell you. So you got something there, Coach?
No, just it's been a great ride, and we got some of the best fans in the FCS, and they're coming from all over the place. I get more comments of X now than I've ever gotten in my entire life, so I'm tickled, and I'm glad we can bring them good entertainment.
Yeah. It's probably because Brandon's not here. He was a dead weight. No, I'm just teasing. We love Brandon. We're going to try and get him back. Finally in his house and moved in, and it was great having him Friday. I mean, the insight he brings is just fantastic. It's fantastic. So, but that is it all for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to try and be back on Wednesday. Some things always happen. We'll let you know what it is, but we will have another live show to talk about week number 11 in the FCS. Some great games coming up, and we'll try and have a guest as well. And if you want to come on and be our guest picker, Kobe, Cluth, I'm calling out you. If you want to be our guest picker, DM me at McCreary Radio or Coach Jackson at GOS_coach_Ron. I think I got that correct. Or just at the FCS Checkdown. We need a guest picker. Sean Anderson came in and had a strong week for the guests. We'll talk about that on Wednesday night and do our picks. Thank you guys so much, Coach Jackson. Thank you guys so much, chat. Like and subscribe. For Coach Jackson, I'm Nathan McCreary. This has been the FCS Checkdown. We will see you on Wednesday or something like that. Oh, we're not real sure. We'll see you. Thank you guys so much. It's the FCS Checkdown. Let's go.